All right, so this one was a request for a breakdown on differences between LSE and SLE. So that's the ESTJ and the ESTP, respectively. So this is a type that they are lookalikes. They are playing with the same elements that they're good at, they're strong at. You're seeing a lot of SE being used by both of them. You're seeing a lot of TE being used by both of them. You're seeing um, the same kind of weaknesses, kind of, because they're both not good with FI, um, and weaknesses when it comes to NI. All right, so the strengths and weaknesses that they're sort of pushing out are kind of similar. That's why they can be confused at times. Now, there are some things to look forward to if you're really looking at the difference. Your SLEs are SE dominant, so they do tend to be much more impulsive, faster in the moment, much more prone to making rapid decisions and doing things now because it interests them or it's fun or it's exciting or whatever, or they see an opportunity to gain some advantage now. Versus versus the LSE, which is going to be using TE, is the favored thing. That's what's valued to them. TE, what's practical, what can be useful, what's applied, and so on, whether it's good or not, or whether it's not in my interest, maybe. So really, the SLEs tend to be a little bit faster, a bit more dynamic. Okay, SLEs also tend to have a they're pushing FE. They have FE as a mobilizing position. So they usually have a good ability to sort of influence the room around them. This is why we sometimes tend to think of SLEs as being charming at some stage in their life. Sometimes they can have it a little younger. Sometimes they kind of get it later on, but they're fairly charming. They're faster. They can be more playful, um, get along with a wide array of people. They can be very, very social. Lots of acquaintances in some cases. Um, they're known for these kinds of things. Uh, SLEs will also demonstrate good usage of TIs. They understand rules and structure very well, um, and can use it quite well, like a tool. They can manipulate the rules of the environment, the laws, whatever. They can kind of manipulate it, use it, know where to push and where not to push with it, um, and use it a lot as kind of a go-to thing. Um, SLEs are oftentimes driven for advancement. They have beta quadrant values, so they want to get higher up in the hierarchy. They want to make more money. They want to do more stuff. They want to explore more things. They want to go more places. Um, get that promotion. They enjoy the spotlight in many cases, or don't, or at least they don't run away from it. Um, they can enjoy being in the spotlight, being important, being seen as somebody important, climbing that hierarchy. So many SLEs, again, that's why they have this sort of image, a stereotype for a reason of being more charming, more social, more out there, more get a load of me like attitude um, that they have going on. Your LSEs, by contrast, again, they're much more pragmatic. They're more about, hey, what works, what's working for me, um, what's going to be useful for me as I continue to go around doing things. They're a lot less flashy for this reason because they're pragmatic. They're not about expanding and getting more things for themselves because they're not SE dominant. They're SE demonstrative. So they're not necessarily into that. They are um, using that SE more in a way to get work done. So they realize I have things I want to do. I have certain goals and things I need to get done. Okay, I'm going to work and I'm going to work hard to accomplish that goal, whatever it is, right? I'm putting a lot of effort and energy in what I'm doing. So a lot of that SE comes more in the form of their energy towards working, their physical moving around, getting things done, doing the 12-hour, 15-hour work days, whatever it takes to get those goals accomplished. And they're usually much more then capable of relaxing and resting. They are SI valuing, right? Let me make sure I'm being clear here. They're TE dominant combined with SI as a creative function. So there's TE with SI. They're being practical, getting things done, but they also want to do things in a way that is comfortable and relaxing for them. The moment they get things done, they're able to go relax. A lot of times they'll even talk about looking forward to getting the things done so they can go relax now. They can go chill, have their cup of coffee, go on vacation, go take a nice nap, those little relaxing things in life. They'll discuss those kind of things. There's much more SI going on in there. The SLEs, they're SI ignoring. They don't care about. They relax because yeah, you have to at some point, but they're not interested in really discussing that or showing a whole lot of interest in it, really. SLEs can be a bit more rough with people in terms of sometimes being a little bit of winners and losers. There's always a Donald Trump example you could throw in there, but they can kind of look at the world a little bit in terms of like, these are the people who are important, who are going places and doing stuff. These are the people who are not important because you know what? They're not doing anything. They don't matter anyway. Push them out of the way. SLEs also have FI polar. So they're the ones that really struggle with figuring out who they care about, who they like for sentimental reasons, for just feeling reasons, like who you like, just you like them for whatever. They can really get all kinds of turnaround trying to answer a question like that and figuring that out, which is why a lot of their personal relationships are a mess. This is another reason why they can have a little bit of that Chad reputation, because they don't always know who they like. They don't always know who they're into, and maintaining those relationships and staying close to those people. They know a lot of people because the FE, they're very social, hang around, go different places, talk to different people, have a good time in these places and whatever. But establishing that good relationship with somebody that you care about and maintaining it, that could really be a big problem for them. Often a sore spot. LSEs have poor FI. It's a suggestive function, but they're not good at it, but they want it. They know they want to get better at it. They're not really good at articulating it. They can be a little bit unsure of themselves on who they like. They think they like that person, but they're a little bit unsure about that relationship. Where is this relationship exactly? Where do we stand? I'm a little unsure of it, and maybe I need you to kind of like tell me that we're a thing. Tell me that we're close friends. Tell me that, like they need a little encouragement, a little reinforcement. They're a little bit unsure of it. That's different from the SLE, who just doesn't know or doesn't care what's going on at all. Everybody's the same. They almost don't see any difference, right? LSEs, the ESTJs, can also be, especially as they get older, they can be a bit more tolerant of people, tolerant of different kinds of people, accept people for who they are, being unusual little snowflakes that have differences and so on. They can get a lot better at being more tolerant of people and not being dismissive of people and so on. Now, in actuality, they can be kind of rough in the way they talk to people. They can be kind of commanding, tell you what to do, be very busy running around and this and that, but they don't mean to be mean and rough like that. They actually are trying to do something they think is good for you and it's going to work for you in a much more caring way. Like they actually like care for you to kind of get better. SLE is not always the case. SLEs can be a lot colder. The irony is that the SLE can appear more charming and can appear more charismatic and more like, hey, what's going on? And have fun and good times. But in truth, in reality, deep down, some of them, not all, but a lot of them can be more really cold and kind of indifferent towards people, where they're like, yeah, you thought you were special to me because we had a good time, but not really. You're kind of like everyone else to me. LSEs may come across a little more awkward sometimes dealing with people. They don't quite have the charm, but in reality, they do know who they kind of like and who's kind of important to them. They have a better sense of it anyway. Um, so when they're young, sometimes it could be a little tricky to sort of see the differences, right? You kind of might need some more time. But again, there are some patterns that start to show up. The charm aspect, very impulsiveness, versus that person who's much more pragmatic, who knows how to relax, take their time, and values it, um, and much more open-minded and flexible about different kinds of people doing stuff. LSEs will have any going on there as well. So they can show a little bit more interest in unusual topics, especially when on the recreation. They might be reading books and things on some strange things. Um, but again, I mean, if you're struggling with this type, it is difficult because they are lookalikes. So you're looking for very little distinctions that you could find. In simple, practical kind of approach, the SLEs can be much more charming, much more energetic, much more go-go kind of people trying to achieve bigger, badder things and are flashy. The LSE usually is, you rarely associate the word charm with LSEs. That doesn't mean that they're like boring little logs. They have their particular personality that can be kind of amusing and charming, and they can just be a lot more straightforward, one-dimensional in a sense. Um, Nice, hard-working group. Anyway, so hopefully that clears up a few things. That's pretty. I feel like I was kind of like all over the place. I do have plenty of stories of different people that I find to be LSEs and SLEs. Um, Maybe I'll save that for another time to tell us individual stories if people kind of want to know. But there you have it. So hopefully that helps.